Nancy, the world changes. We are always experiencing new things, which mean there's new challenges in understanding what's important to plan for. Um, there's a new kind of category of assets that have really become widespread, really pretty much ubiquitous in American society these days, and that is your digital assets. And those encompass a large number of things, and they're not just the things that we think about as assets. In other words, not just your financial accounts that you might have opened online or things of that nature, but how do you access those accounts? I mean, what's your password? What's your PIN? And what's your 64-digit digital code for recovering your Bitcoins? I mean, those are real issues
Yes,
that
they are.
that you may not have a client today that has those issues or all of those things, but eventually we all will. And I recently read an article from the Journal of Financial Service Professionals. Actually, it was on their blog that detailed a story of a young man who had invested quite some amount of money in Bitcoin early on, and the value, at least on his last discussion with his parents, was approaching $100,000. But what he never did was he never shared that digital key with anyone else. And so he died, and I can't remember the circumstances of his death, but he died. And essentially, those Bitcoins are gone. There is no one else who can claim them because no one else has access to that key. So talk to me a little bit about those issues, about why it's important to really do a thorough dive into a person's life, not just what do you have, but who you are, how you own things, how you conduct your business, who's important to you. So talk about that a little bit.
Well, thank you, because I do enjoy exploring that issue with our clients, because we have a 21-page questionnaire that we send out along with a packet when people inquire about our services. And some of them call and say, why do I have to fill this out? Why do you need all of this information? And I say, it's because I need to know about you. I need to know everything about you, about your goals, your family, or lack thereof, the type of assets you have, because my advice to you is prescriptive, like that of a doctor. And I can't write the right prescription for you unless I know what you have and what you want to do with it.
Right. So if somebody comes to you and they want to appoint their spouse or their brother or their mother or daughter or whatever as their financial power of attorney, it's more than just executing the document and signing it. They have to help that person be able to fulfill that responsibility.
Right.
And one of those things that you might need to do is to share that 64-digit key for their Bitcoin account.
Right. And certainly in the area of estate planning with digital assets, that has really come to the fore in the last 5 years or so in the estate planning world, maybe longer than that. Sadly, because of the war in the Middle East, when soldiers were dying, they were leaving blogs and online accounts. I need to say it that way. And that could not be accessed by their survivors because the survivors did not have the passwords and PIN numbers and that sort of thing. And so we revised our wills, our trusts, and our powers of attorney, those templates, to include planning with digital assets so that the executor and the trustee and the agent under the power of attorney could have access to those digital assets, certainly as long as they had the passwords and PIN numbers. But then we go on to tell our clients to create a list of those somehow. For example, I have a multi-page list, and you know how it is nowadays. The bank changes, or credit union or whatever changes your password every 6 weeks or so, something like that.
Yeah.
And so I have a lengthy list that I have embedded in a file that my daughter and my husband know where to access that. That is one way to do it. Some of my older clients, they say they have a little notebook that they've hidden somewhere in their desk drawer, and that makes me feel a little queasy. There are applications that people can buy to to help them manage their digital assets. But it's critically important because as this person you mentioned with the up to $100,000 worth of Bitcoin, that's a lot of value to lose because there was not access to it.
Right. Thank you very much. I think that's really important information.